Good afternoon, all. Today we are going to discuss one more type of classifier that is called nearest neighbor classifier. In the last class, we discussed about decision tree induction and the rule-based classifier. Today, we'll discuss what actually the nearest neighbor classifier. It is actually a simple algorithm that stores all available cases and classifies new cases or a class based on the similarity measure. Okay, that distance function, similarity measure in the sense distance function. Okay, so here, yeah, this you have come across this classification diagram, that is classification framework involves two-step approach. One is inductive step, another one is the deductive step. So what is this inductive step? Inductive step means here it is actually, inductive step is to construct a classification model. Okay, classification model from the training data. Okay, here it is not clear, it is not displaying properly. Okay, inductive step means it is to construct the model by using a training data. Okay, whereas deductive step is nothing but it is for applying the model to test examples. Okay, inductive means to construct the model, whereas deductive means whatever the model we have constructed, okay, to that we are applying a test set, okay, set to predict the class label. Yeah. So before discussing about the before discussing about our nearest neighbor algorithm, let us have first the discussion about what is eager learners and lazy learners. Okay, eager learners means the model is constructed. Okay, the model is constructed before it is classifying the data into the class labels. Okay, whereas in lazy learners, model is computed during the classification. If you remember in the last slide I showed you, there is a training set and there is a test set. Okay, we feed the training set to the model and make it learn. Okay, then we give the test set to predict the class label. Okay, if the model predicts properly or correctly, okay, then it is a accurate model. So here in the eager learners, model is computed before the classification. That means we are training the model using the training data set. Okay, whereas in the lazy learner, okay, we are giving the training data and the test data together. Okay, so it will do the classification along with the training and the test data. So model is here in the eager learners, model is independent of the test instance. Okay, independent of the test instance. That means what is, why I am calling it as a independent? Why? Because here first we will train the model completely with the training data. Then only once it is trained, then only we'll give the test instance. Whereas in model here in the lazy learners, model is depend on the test instance. That means we will be giving the test instance along with the training data. So the next difference is that test instance is not included in the training data, whereas here in the lazy learners test instance will be included. I will show you the example in the coming slides, you will understand. So here model is not accurate for each instance. Okay, every time, for every instance it may not be accurate. Whereas here in the lazy learners, it have a high accuracy. So what are the eager learners, which are the classification algorithm which comes at the eager learners are decision tree induction rule based classifier, whereas lazy learners are rote classifier and nearest neighbor classifier, which we are going to discuss now. Okay, to start with the KNN, it was first described in the early 1950s. Okay, KNN is algorithm which comes under the supervised machine learning concepts, okay, or techniques. So which can be used for both classification as well as the regression predictive problems. Okay, however, it is having a main scope for the classification predictive problems in the industry. So nearest naive classifier. One second, I accept the. So nearest naive classifier algorithm is a lazy learning algorithm, as I mentioned in the previous slide. Okay, why it is a lazy learning algorithm? Because it does not have a specialized training phase and uses all the data for training while classification. In the decision tree and all, what we'll do in the rule based and all classifier and all, what we'll do first, we'll train the model. Okay, that concept is not there in the nearest neighbor classifier. Please remember that. Okay, in the rule based classifier or the decision, first we'll train the model. Okay, using the training data, then only we'll test it. Here the concept is reverse. Okay, so here we don't have the specialized training phase. Okay, all the data for training, all the data will be considered for the classification. Okay, next, the nearest neighbor classifier is also called as non-parametric learning algorithm. Why? Because it does not assume anything about the underlying data. Okay, so it has gained popularity when increased computing power become available, and it is mainly used in the pattern recognition and statistical estimation field. As I told, nearest neighbor classifier is a lazy learning algorithm. Why? Because there is no specialized training phase. Okay, so here to the justification for that, why we are calling it as a lazy learner, the justification for using nearest neighbors is best exemplified by the saying, okay, by this saying that if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's probably a duck. Okay, that means what? It is finding a relationship among these two statements. Okay, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, then it's probably a duck. That means it is finding a relationship or closeness. Okay, closeness among the walk and the quack. Okay, walk and the cock. That quack. So that closeness. Okay, that closeness predicts. Okay, the closeness among the attributes. Okay, among the attributes will predict to which class that particular tested instance belongs to. Hope you are understanding. Okay, that's the reason it is having the name nearest neighbor. Okay, nearest neighbor. Why nearest neighbor? It finds the closeness among the attribute. Okay, closest among the attribute. So the test instance, okay, which is closest to that, which will be closest to the any of the instance or training instance, to that class label the test instance will be belonging to. So here you can see here, okay, we have a training record. In the training record we have a set of birds, okay, duck, then we have a cock. Okay, like this we have a set of class label. We can say the bird is classified into two categories, that is, one is cock and another is a duck. Okay, so what this line, and this is a test record. Okay, training record or training instance. Record can be called in other words as an instance. Training record, okay, training test record. So here nearest neighbor. Neighbor means what? Who sits or who is residing next to us. Yes or no? We call them as a neighbor. So nearest neighbor. Nearest neighbor means actually here, okay, training records. We will just take the test record. That's why we are calling it as a both together. Okay. The test first we are not training the model here. Okay, then we are not using the test record. Training and test is along, okay, side to side. So here first what we do, First we will take, okay, the records, that means training records, okay, training records. Then we will compute the distance, okay. Distance means here always the closeness, okay, how similar, okay, the characteristics are, or how similar the features are, okay. Actually the distance here in the data mining, you understand, data mining or a machine learning concept, okay. Whenever we say the distance, okay, distance is nothing but how close the attributes are, okay, how close the attributes are. So here we'll take the test record and we will compute the distance between each, okay, the training record, okay, training record, and we will choose the nearest k nearest records. K nearest record means what? So when we take this training, so if you see this picture, you can make out that okay, this is near, this is near, and this is near, okay, this is near. So this pictures are near, these records are near. So that's why it is called k nearest. K nearest means number of uh, records which is having the closeness, okay, with respect to, or which is having the similar characteristics with respect to the test record. So it will be taken, okay, it will be taken, and here this two, okay, will be computed, okay. Then which is having the closest, means to which, here this is close, this is close, and this is close, okay. So all these are close, and the test record will be predicted that okay, this is a duck, okay. That means the characteristics of this test record is similar to the class called duck, so it is belonging to a class label, that is duck. Next, so here in the nearest neighbor classifier, the instance or a record will be represented in the form of a data points. Let us consider this data set. Okay, this is the data set, and this data set we called as a training data set. Okay, training data set. So remember, we will be using the keywords like record, okay, instance, observation, sample, okay. Whenever this word is used in the data set, they all represent the row in the data set, okay. Instance is a row, this one, okay. Record is a row, okay. Observation is a row, sample is a row, okay. Please remember that. So here, what is actually the data point? The data point is nothing but our feature means attribute in the data set will be represented, okay, in the form of a point in a, on a dimensional space, okay. D dimensional space. D means that is number of dimensions, okay. Here we have two dimensions. Since we have two here we have two attributes, we can plot this, okay, record in the form of a two dimension. One is age, another is loan, okay, loan. So what actually this training data is all about, okay. Training data is all about whether a customer can be given a loan or not, okay, whether the customer can be given a loan or not, okay. So to give the loan or not, they are taking two attributes here, that is age and the loan amount, okay. The loan credit, no, okay, no, here I've used a non default, okay. Then default is yes, okay. So now here n means no and y means yes. So here this one is a categorical data, okay. Category this is a, one second, I take the pencil. Yeah, this is a categorical data, okay. Why it is categorical data? Because it is having two category, no and yes, n or y. So this we call it as a class label or a target variable. This target variable is determined based on the independent variable. Here what are the independent variable? Age and the loan amount, okay, loan amount. So here we are, okay, this records, okay, training instance is represented in the form of a data points in a two dimensional space, okay. How? I'll tell you. Let us take first instance. The age is 25, loan is $40,000. What is the age? 25. Mid it will come. Yes or no? So mid. And 40,000 means it will come almost near here. Yes or no? Because loan amount is in the terms of 50,000. So here 40,000. So when we take this, okay, we get the data point here like this. Yes or no? Okay, we got the data point. Okay, so this data point. Similarly, all these things will be represented in the form of a data points. Clear? So what is this red and blue color? Red means actually, okay, red is nothing but yes. Okay, and blue is nothing but blue data point is nothing but no. Hope so you are understanding this. Okay, red is nothing but okay, no, red is nothing but yes, default. Okay, default, and blue is nothing but no, that is no default. Okay, now what is this? This is a test instance which is represented in the form of this graph. Okay, now, so training data is represented in the form of this graph. Now we will take a test example. Okay, test instance or test example, test record. So test record, how many attributes we have here? Age and loan. So we are taking age is equal to, okay, age is equal to 48 and loan is equal to $122,000. Okay, so we have to represent this also in the form of a data point. Okay, how we will represent this also in the form of a data points? Okay, so age, we'll go to this, age is 48. Okay, almost here. Okay, and $142 means it almost comes near to this. Yes or no? So when you just take this, okay, when you just draw this, you'll get the see. So whatever I have given in the green, okay, whatever I have given in the green, you can see round one. Okay, that is nothing but the test data point. All remaining things are a training data point. Okay, and this green color is nothing but the test data point. Okay, test data. Now we have to predict. Okay, to which class label it belongs to. When I say class label, that is we have N and Y. Okay, to which class label it belongs to. So here it may belongs to whether it will belongs to a red or will it belongs to a blue. We have to predict it. How we can predict? We are if we are using a k nearest neighbor classifier, nearest neighbor always, okay, is based on a concept called distance or the closeness among the data points. So that will be taken in the form of a okay distance, using a distance formula. The distance will be computed between the nearest data points. See here, if you see here, it is here, it is here, the line is given here. Okay, so nearest data points, the distance will be computed. It is not the distance is not computed to here or this. Okay, because they are far, no need to do that. So nearest data points, the distance between the test data and the nearest data training data points, the distance will be calculated. So once the distance is calculated, okay, which data point is having close or shortest distance to that category or the class, the test data will be belong. This is the basic concept of the nearest neighbor. We will see in detail in the coming slides. So when I say distance, how to find the closeness among the closeness among the data points. When I say closeness among the data points, it is the closeness between the training data and the test data. Okay, closeness between the training data and the test data. Okay, that's why we are telling here it is a lazy learner. Why? Because there is no prior phase. Okay, there is no prior this one what training phase in the nearest neighbor. Okay, so we will be doing the training and the testing along side by side only. So to find the closeness between the training and the test data, okay, test data, we have a distance function or distance formula, that is Euclidean, okay, Manhattan and Minkowski. Hope you remember this three distance formula we discussed in the module 2. So these are the formulas for this. Okay, so most commonly used distance function for the nearest neighbor classifier is Euclidean distance. Okay, Euclidean distance. We'll see further. Okay, so what is this actually? Okay, what is this? K nearest neighbors of an instance. Okay, so here this figure shows that, okay, this figure shows that there is one nearest neighbor, two nearest neighbor, three nearest neighbor. Okay, one nearest neighbor. So here if you observe, I think now by this time you would have got one idea. Okay, one idea what actually the training data, what actually the test data, okay, how it is represented in the nearest neighborhood. All these are actually data points. Okay, so if you see this picture, it is having three cases. Okay, three cases. It means three same data set. Okay, three different situation. Okay, three different situation we are taken here. So what is this minus and plus? Minus and plus are nothing but the class label. Okay, the class label is having two category. One is plus, another is minus. Hope it is clear. Okay, the next what we do. Okay, so we'll take the test data. So whatever you are observing here, X, it is nothing but a test data. Okay, so we have to categorize or we have to predict to which class label this X belongs to. Yes or no? Okay, X belongs to. So what we'll do, we may take one nearest neighbor. One nearest neighbor means we calculate the distance. Okay, we calculate the distance between, okay, distance between the which is the neighbor which is very close to it. Okay, only one neighbor which is very close to it. Okay, so and if and we tell that it is it belongs to that class label only. Okay, so what I am doing in one nearest neighbor, I will be, you can see the boundary here. Okay, red color boundary. Okay, what it tells, I'm taking the test data. Okay, and which is which test, training data is closest to this test data. Okay, that I will take and I will predict. Okay, in nearest neighbor, I'll predict this class label belonging to this. Okay, this test data is belonging to the minus category. Okay, this test data is belonging to the minus category. But what happens here, it may be not correct. Yes or no? It may pass to a negative example. It is gone to a means we have predicted as a negative example. Yes or no? Negative class. This is negative, positive. So negative class. So next we'll see two nearest neighbor. Two nearest neighbor means what? We have taken the test data. Okay, and we will calculate the distance or the closeness, okay, to the nearest two neighbors. Okay, one is plus and one is minus. Okay, here again there will be a confusion whether the test data will be in the minus place or the test data will be in the plus. Okay, you can observe here in the first place one nearest neighbor. Okay, we are just by default it is telling that which is near, okay, to that class only the test data belongs to. When we take two nearest neighbor, there will be always a tie. Okay, there will be always a tie. So suppose if both are plus means both are positive label means no issues. We can clearly tell, okay, to this category it belongs to. But both are negative, no issues. We can clearly tell the it will belong to a negative class. Okay, but if one negative and positive has come, there is a tie. Yes or no? There is a tie. Means there is a confusion that to which class label it belongs to. Okay, so we have to go for a again we have to go for a one more concept called voting. Okay, voting. Clear? That I'll come to it. Okay. Next, we'll take the three nearest neighbor. That means we are keep on increasing the neighbors. Okay. So we are finding out we are taking more training instance and finding the closest closeness. Okay. We are taken the test data. Okay, so we are calculating the distance, okay, to the distance to the nearest three neighbors. Okay, three neighbors, three nearest neighbor. So if you come to this, when we take the odd numbers, always it is advantage. Okay, odd numbers. Okay, so here one negative example is there, two positive example is there. So which is having the majority? Positive example, yes or no? Then we can clearly tell that this test data belongs to a positive class label. Okay, it belongs to a positive class label. Okay, so here one nearest, if we take, okay, so here as I told, okay, when we are going for the three nearest neighbor, so we'll take to maximum class label, which is that will be the test data will be belonging to that. When we go to the uh, even number of that is 2 here. If we go to the 4, okay, in that the equal case comes means we have to go for the majority voting. Okay. Yeah, nearest neighbor classification, as I told, the closest can be computed using the Euclidean distance. This is the formula for Euclidean distance. Okay, so here to determine the class from nearest neighbor list, okay, take the majority vote of the class label among the k nearest neighbors. So majority vote. So which is having majority vote to that class label, okay, the particular test data will be belonging to. So weight of the vote is computed as W is equal to 1 by D square. So to summarize what I told in the previous slides, okay, we just summarize what actually the nearest neighbor classifier. So nearest neighbor classifier requires three things. Okay, so here you can see, here we have a training data set which is having the class label, okay, negative example and positive examples. Okay, so the class training data or training records, okay, training records belongs to a category at the class label, that is either it belongs to a negative example or it may belongs to a positive example. Whatever you are seeing, it is red dot is nothing but unknown record. Unknown record means it is a test record whose class yet to be predicted. Okay, so what is the requirements for the nearest neighbor classifier? First we need the record training data. Yes or no? Whatever you are seeing, it is a training data. We need a training data as a stored records. Next, what we need a distance metric or a distance function to compute the distance between the records. Okay, to compute the distance between the records. The next, what we have to do, we need a value of k, that is the number of nearest neighbor to retrieve. That means first we need the training data. Second, we need the distance function. Which distance function we have to use, whether it is Euclidean, whether it is Manhattan, or whether it is Minkowitz, or another distance formula is also there. Okay, so any of this based on the application we can decide. The next one is we have to find, we have to decide the value of k. K can be 1, k can be 2, k can be 3, k can be 4, and so on. Okay, so next what we have to do to classify the unknown record. Okay, to classify the unknown record, that is test record. These are the training data. Then there is test record here. Test record, what we have to do, first we have to compute the distance to the other training record. We will be computing the distance nearest with the nearest training record. Then we have to identify the k nearest neighbors. Okay, whatever the value k is given, if k is 1 means only one, okay, one neighbor will take, which is very near to it or close to it. If k is equal to 2, two neighbors will take, which is close to it. Then k is equal to 3 means we will be taking the 3 neighbors. Okay, 3 nearest or closest neighbors. Okay, we will be taking the 3 closest neighbor. So next what we use, we have to use the class label of the nearest neighbor to determine to which class label that unknown record belongs to. So if you take this example, okay, so if you consider this example, just a minute, I just undo it. Yeah, if you consider this example, say for example, k is equal to 3 I have taken. Okay, k is equal to 3 I have taken. So when I take k is equal to 3, you can just get the you will get the boundary like this. Yes or no? Okay. So we'll take the class label of this training data. What is the class label? Positive. Then which class label that unknown record belongs to? Obviously positive. Okay. That's why by taking the majority. How to choose the nearest neighbor classification? It is very important. Okay. How to choose the value of k? As I told, if k is too small, okay, k is too small, the prediction may become wrong. Okay, but it's because sensitive to noise points. Okay, if the k is too large, neighborhood may include points from other classes. Okay, too large means there will be it will be merged, lot of merged points will be there. Okay, then here neighborhood may include points from other classes. So here choosing the value of k is very important. It should not be too small, it should not be too large. Yeah, coming to a k nearest neighbor classifier. When I say k, KNN stands for K nearest neighbor. Okay, K is nothing but number of nearest training samples. So here first how this algorithm or the flow chart, how the it will work, K nearest neighbor will work. Okay, first what we have to do, we have to define the K. Okay, so for implementing any algorithm, we need a data set. Okay, so first we have to load the training, okay, and the test data. In this case, first of all, before starting this, we should load the training data and the test data. Okay, so next what we have to do, we have to choose the value of k. Okay, we have to choose the value of k, that is the nearest data points. K can be any integer. Okay, next what we have to do, for each point in the test data, okay, for each point in the test data, we have to calculate the distance between the test data and each row of training data with the help of any of the distance functions, like any of the distance function like Euclidean distance, okay, Manhattan distance, or Hamming distance, okay, anything. The most commonly used method is the distance is calculated using the Euclidean distance. Then what we have to do, then we have to, based on the distance value, okay, based on the distance value, we have to sort them in an ascending order. We have to give a ranking. Okay, I'll show you the example. We have to give a ranking 1, 2, 3, 4 like this. We have to sort the distance, okay, in the ascending order. Okay, next what we have to do, we have to choose the top k rows from the sorted array. Okay, we have to choose the top k, okay, k rows from the sorted array. Next what we'll do, we will assign, okay, a class to the test point or the test data based on the most frequent classes of this rows. Okay, based on the most frequent classes of this row, that is by applying a voting method. Okay, once that is done, okay, which is having the majority votes to that class that test record belongs to, then the classifier will be ended. So let us take an example. Okay, let us take an example. So consider the data from the questionnaire survey. Okay, this is the data set from the questionnaire survey, and the objective testing with the two attribute. One is acid durability. Okay, one is acid durability. Another is strength. So to classify whether a special paper tissue is good or not. Okay, whether the tissue paper given is a good or not. So here 4 sample is given. Okay, x1, x2. So we have 7, 7. It belongs to a classification called or a class label called bad. 7, if the acid durability is 7 and the strength is 4 kilogram per square meter, then the classification is bad. If the acid durability is 3 seconds and strength is 4 kg per square meter, then it is good. Okay, acid durability is 1 and strength is 4 kg per square meter is 4, then it is good. Okay, like this we have the training data. All these are a training data. Now what we have to do, we'll take a test record, that is the acid durability is 3 seconds and strength is 7 kilogram per square meter. We have to check to which this 3 comma 7 data point. Okay, 3 comma 7 x-axis y-axis you can say. So 3 comma 7 data points to which instance or to which tissue this belongs to, whether it belongs to a bad or good. Okay, whether it belongs to a bad or good, we have to predict. So first step, what we have to do, we have to initialize and define the k. Yes or no? We have a data set, we have a test data. Okay, we have to predict. So first what we will do, we will define or initialize the value of k. So here we have taken the value of k is equal to 3. Okay, so it is always ideal to choose the odd number for the k. If the number of attributes is even, then there will be a tie between the class. Then we have to go for a voting concept. Okay, so to avoid that, always it is better to take the value of k as odd number. Okay, next what we have to do, we have to compute the distance between the test data and the training data. Yes or no? As I told, distance can be computed using many formulas like distance, Euclidean distance, okay, Minkowski distance, Manhattan distance, Hamming distance, like this many distance function we have. The most commonly very popularly used distance algorithm is the Euclidean distance. In this example, we are using the squared Euclidean distance. Okay, squared Euclidean distance just to remove the square root, that's all. Okay, so here we have x1 acid durability, the test data is given. So how we have to find the distance between the training data point and the test data point. Yes or no? Training data point and the test data point. So what is x1? First we'll take the first instance. Okay, we'll take the first instance. What is the training x1 value? 7. What is the x1 value in the training test data? 3. Okay, that's why we are given x1 minus x1 whole square, that is 7 minus 3 plus. So what is the x2 data? 7. Here what is x2? 7. 7 minus 7 whole square. Okay, we are used square Euclidean. The formula, if you just take the formula of Euclidean distance, it is square root of x1 minus y1 whole square plus x2 minus y2 whole square. Okay, let us take this as a y1 comma y2. Okay, y1 comma y2. So x1 comma x1 minus y1, okay, whole square plus x2 minus y2 whole square. So here 7 minus 3 whole square plus 7 minus 7 whole square, that we will get the 16. Okay, so next the same procedure we continue with the remaining instance. Okay, so we'll get the distance like this. Okay, 7 minus 3 whole square plus 4 minus 7 whole square is equal to 25. Hope you are understanding this. Yes or no? So is it clear for you? Okay, like this we keep on doing. Okay, like this we keep on doing. So we'll find the distance. We completed the second step. Okay, first step we have to decide the value for k. Second step we have to find the closeness among the training data and the test data by using a distance function. Here the Euclidean distance. Next, what we have to do, we have to sort the distance in ascending order. Yes or no? We have to sort the distance in a ascending order. So here we have a first training data, second training data, third training data, and the fourth training data. Yes or no? So if you see, this is the distance, which is the least distance, which training data is having least distance or very close to the test data. It is out of this, 9 is the smallest, so the rank is given 1. Okay, then next is 13, so the rank is 2. Okay, so here instead of arranging it in descending order, we are given the rank. So least distance is nothing but more closeness, so the rank is 1, 2. Then next is 3, 4. We are given the rank. Okay, we are given the rank. Then what is the k value we have taken? The k value we have taken is 3. Yes or no? So now we have to make it. So which is the k value 3 we are taken. Then we have to take only the first 3 rank. Okay, first 3 rank. That means we have to take which instance, we have to take. We have to take first 3 rank. No, this instance will take, this instance will take, and this instance will take. Yes or no? So here this is why it is no, because this is compare, we are taking the k value as 3. Okay, we are taking the k value as 3. So we are arrange the instance in the ascending order, and we are given the rank 1 2 3. So since k is equal to 3, only first 3 we will take. So we will take this instance, and this instance. That's why it is yes here, yes here, yes here, and this is no. But the meaning is that it is farther. Okay, further. Next, what we have to do? We are taken. Okay, so this instance will not consider because it is no. Okay, it is not a nearest neighbor. Okay, they are staying in the next row, so it is not in the nearest neighbor. We ignore it. So next, what is the class label of this? The first instance, the class label is bad. Okay, the second instance, the class label is good. The third instance, the class label is good. If you want, I can show you once again the data set, original data set. Do you remember here? First instance is bad. Second instance we are not consider because it's too far. The third and fourth instance is good. So we have taken the label. That's all. Now the next question. To which class the test data 3, 7 belongs to? Which class? Can anyone say that? Can anyone text me? Which class it belongs to? Which class the point 3 and 7 belongs to? To which instance it is closer? Which category it can be? Here we have 3. Yes or no? We have both bad as well as we have good. Okay. So whether the point 3, 7 belongs to, okay, whether the point 3, 7 belongs to a category bad or it belongs to a category good. Okay, here we go for the concept called majority voting. Okay, which class is having majority? Good, because it is having two instance and bad is having only one instance. So good. So this test data belongs to a class label called good. That means we can conclude it is a good tissue paper. Okay, it is a good tissue paper. Let us see. So apply simple majority. So use simple majority of the category of the nearest neighbor as a prediction value for the query instance. We have 2 good and 1 bad. Thus, we conclude that the new paper tissue that passes the laboratory test with X, that is X1 is nothing but acidity, okay, and X2 is nothing but the strength, okay, acidity, durability, and strength. Acidity durability 3 seconds and strength is equal to 7 kg per 7 kgs, okay. So this, it belongs to a category called good. So we have predicted that it is belonging to class label good. So here is the algorithm, okay. Whatever the flow chart I showed you, the same algorithm. So let k be the number of nearest neighbors with the data set training example d. What we do, for each test data, that is test data is z with the x and y attribute, okay, x and y attribute, do the following. What we have to do the distance of x dash comma x is nothing but our training data value, the distance between z and every example of x and y that belongs to d. Then select the distance which is closest to the k closest training example. Then if it is having that uh, two different categories, then we have to go for the majority voting. So majority voting formula is this, okay. What this majority voting formula, okay, majority voting formula we have here r y dash, okay, y dash, that is here, y dash is equal to argument max of v, okay, summation of xi comma yi belongs to dz, I of v is equal to, okay, v is equal to y1, okay. That means here just a minute. Hello. Yeah, here where v is a class label, okay, v is a class label, and yi is a class label for one of the nearest neighbor, okay, yi, and I of this, I of is nothing but the indicator function that returns the value 1 if the argument is true and 0 otherwise, okay. So in the majority voting approach, every neighbor has the same impact on the classification. This makes the algorithm sensitive to the choice of k. So here, one way to reduce the impact of k is to weight the influence, okay, weight the influence of each nearest neighbor x of I, okay, x of I, according to its distance. That is wi is equal to 1 by d. I told no, d square, 1 by d square. So as a result, training examples that are located far away from z, okay, that is test data, have a weaker impact on the classification compared to those that are located close to z. Using distant weighted voting scheme, the class label can be determined using this formula. Okay, it can be determined using this formula. Okay, so all the terms are same. Hope so you are understood what I explained you with an example. So characteristics of nearest neighbor classification. Okay, what is this? It is a part of instance based learning. That means it is which specifies which uses specific training instance based learning. It uses specific training instance to make the prediction without having to maintain the abstraction, okay, derived from the data. Do not require model building. So what as we compare to the decision tree induction, in the decision tree induction or the rule based classifier, first we will, okay, we will build the model, then we use that model to predict the test data. But here that's not the case. We are not building a model first, okay. Training and testing is done together, okay. So here make their prediction based on the local information, okay. That is Whereas decision tree and the rule-based classifier attempt to find the global model that fits the entire input space. It produces arbitrarily shaped decision boundaries. Such boundaries provide a more flexible model representation compared to the decision tree or the rule-based classifier that are often constrained to rectilinear decision boundaries. Okay. So next we have here, that is scaling issues. Okay, scaling issues. Nearest neighbor classifier can produce wrong prediction unless the approximate proximity measure, when I say proximity measure, it is nothing but the closeness, okay, a distance, similarity and dissimilarity. So proximity measure and data processing steps are taken. For example, okay, suppose we want to classify a group of people based on the weight and height. Okay, weight and the height. Height will be measured in terms of meter and weight will be measured in terms of pounds. The height attribute has a low variability ranging from 1.5 meter to 1.8 meter, whereas the weight attribute, okay, weight attribute may vary from 90 lb to 250 lb. If the scale of the attributes are not taken into consideration, okay, the proximity measure may be dominated by difference, okay, by difference in the weights of the person. Okay, so hope you have understood the nearest neighbor, k nearest neighbor classifier. So we call KNN classifier a lazy learner because we do not build models explicitly, unlike eager learners such as decision tree, induction and role based system. Okay, classifying unknown records are relatively expensive. Thank you.